Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Commitment Field on the campus of Oklahoma Bible Academy, where your Oklahoma Bible Academy Trojans, coming off their first victory of the season, will take on the Turpin Cardinals in the first district match of the game. As we said, the Trojans coming off their first win last week at Burns Flat, Dill City. A convincing victory for the Trojans with multiple touchdowns. And the Trojans win despite multiple injuries and multiple players being out. Trojans now down several starters from the season opener. Our color man tonight, Wyatt Hofen, out for the season with injuries. The Trojans lost Liam Berry 2 weeks ago. Last week they lose Connor Reed. As we see kind of the walking wounded coming down the sideline here. Connor Reed was lost last week along with leading receiver Ben Burrell. So a host of Trojans over here on the sideline in crutches and casts and things. But the Trojans were able to overcome that last week and get their first victory of the year on the road at Burns Flat. So as the captains are at center field, Turpin has won the toss and elected to receive. Your Trojan captains tonight are seniors Andrew Campbell, Ian Burnett, Lucas Olson out there for the coin toss tonight, along with sophomore Jacoby Justice. So we get prepared for kickoff here tonight at Commitment Field. Beautiful night for football. During the day it does not feel like fall weather, but now here in the evening it's a beautiful fall evening. Not a lick of wind. The flags are hanging limp on the flagpole in the south end zone. And so looks to be a good night of football here on the Southern Plains. We'll see if the Trojans can build that momentum from last week's win in their first district game of the season. And really it all boils down to district play. All those pre-district games, you know, they're great for getting tuned up and everything, but really it starts counting now. And so we'll see if the Trojans can take that momentum from the Burns Flat game and turn it into another win and start a little win streak here this year as the Trojans come in kind of a second homecoming of sorts tonight, but they come in with a 1-4 record after losing on the road at Savannah, Sealing, and Geary. They lost to Waukomis, and then were able to get a win last week, 56-36 over Burns Flat, Dill City. Turpin coming in with a record of 4-0, stellar record with wins over a team from Clayton, New Mexico. And then they beat Tyrone, Buffalo, and Boise City. Tyrone and Buffalo were on the road. Boise City was at home. And then the Cardinals come down the highway, down the Panhandle. Kind of a long road trip. Kind of an odd-shaped district. Several Panhandle teams will be coming in here to Commitment Field in Enid. But the Cardinals, coached by Justin Hanna, come in with a perfect 4-0 record. The Trojans will be looking to break that up. Trojans set to kick off. It's Cal Kayot set to kick off. Really the only one receiver back, and he's not even really that deep. He's on the 25. They've probably watched a lot of film and see that the Trojans pooch and squib just about everything. That ball's loose, finally covered up about the 38-yard line. So the Cardinals will start their first drive at the Trojan 38-yard line. Or at their own 38-yard line, I guess I should say. So again, as we've talked about, a lot of subs in there for the Trojans. Andrew Campbell in here at the corner. Corey Snyder back on the field for the Trojans after missing last week, being ill. So that was another key player for the Trojans that missed last week's game. Wyatt, talk about what it's like to come in. Different situation. You're coming in off the bench, starting for your first game. You've been there. What is that? What are they going through down there?
A lot of nervousness, especially just panicking on what if I do something wrong? What if I mess up? And just a lot of jitters.
Right, just some jitters there.
Yeah.
And as soon as you start thinking about, I'm going to play to not mess up, that's usually when you mess up. You have to just go out there and do it.
Yeah.
Turpin starts up with a 7-yard completion off a screen. Going to be a handoff up the middle this time, and he's going to have a first down. Brought down after about another 7-yard gain into Trojan territory at about the 47-yard line. No huddling here for Turpin. They're going pretty fast, taking their signal from the sideline.
Last time I saw this for the OBA was last year in the second or third round playoff games with Regent Prep. They were able to keep going.
Hand up over the left end is going to be a big gain. He breaks the tackle and off to the races. Can Coy Snyder catch him? He can, and trips him up just inside the 10-yard line. Nice play from Coy Snyder. Good to have him back on the field tonight. But he blew up a tackle attempt after about 8 yards and just ran right through a tackle attempt and rumbled down the field. Big run there for Turpin. Big offensive line there for Turpin, number 72, towering above just about everyone else on the field. Visibly bigger than just about anybody in view. And he'll be the center for Turpin. And we've got a flag, and they're going to stop play, so that'll be on the offense.
We lost the picture. I'm going to go see if it disconnected up there.
Sorry for the technical problems. We've lost video. So we'll just try and talk you through this. As Turpin, they march off 5 yards, so it'll be first and goal for Turpin at about the 13-yard line. They're on the left hash. They're heading south, so left to right on your radio dial. As Turpin's under center. Now he backs up into a shotgun formation. Carson Peters, the senior quarterback for Turpin. There's our picture back. Takes the snap, swing pass out wide. He's going to get around the edge and into the end zone. Oh, no, forced out of bounds. Nice play from the Trojan defense. Gets him out of bounds just shy of the end zone at about the 3-yard line. After about a 10-yard gain, that was number 34, Jet Huffman, on the carry. Andrew Campbell forces him out of bounds on the edge. Subs coming in for the Trojans. Lucas Olson hustling off the field. So handoff off the middle, up the middle again, and he'll just stroll into the end zone. Number 34, Jet Huffman, a senior-laden squad here for Turpin. One of the reasons they're 4-0. Quarterback Carson Peters is a senior, and running back Jet Huffman, another senior, and they're the only two people that touch the ball the whole drive. So we're going to see a steady diet of senior experience here from Turpin, it looks like. So as they line up for two-point conversion, this time Huffman's at quarterback, takes a direct snap, tries to get over the right side. A flag comes flying in. He stops short of the two-point conversion. We'll see what the call is. It's a hold on Turpin, and Coach Kayot's going to decline that penalty. So the Trojan defense holds on the two-point conversion, making your score Turpin 6, OBA 0. We're about 2.5 minutes into the first quarter, 10:34 to go here in the first. So as we said, a steady diet of senior experience for Turpin. As I go down the roster, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 seniors for Turpin. So a lot of experience out there on the field wearing white and red, up against a lot of freshmen and sophomores out there for the Trojans. So a good opportunity to gain some experience against a senior-laden Turpin squad. Turpin jumps out early, 6-0, but Trojans can take some solace in the fact that they held them on the two-point conversion. So you go down and score here and get your own two-point conversion, and maybe good things will happen for you. A lot of things happening here on campus this week at OBA. Your OBA cross-country team will be in action tomorrow at Watonga, running their final regular season meet of their cross-country season. I don't know if the cross-country meet is affiliated with the Wacomas either. The Watonga, there it is. The Watonga Cheese Festival is this weekend. And so I don't know if the race is affiliated with that in any way, but it is the same weekend and it's in Watonga. So we're going to call it affiliated. Long kickoff. Snyder's deep. He's going to let it hit the ground. That's a dangerous move. The freshman scoops it up. He's going to try and run to the near side. He's got one blocker, but the blocker slows down and kind of stops. Coy outruns his blockage there, or vice versa. But he gets the ball out to about the 22-yard line. So it'll be first down Trojans, 10:28 to go here in the first period. Kind of an odd situation. Snyder had one blocker out in front of him, and the blocker just kind of slowed down, and Coy ran right by him. So we got to keep that block out in front of the runner. Maybe he could have gotten a few more yards. Quarterback Cal K got 5 touchdowns last week at Burns Flat-Dell City. Up under center tonight. Jacoby Justice, the center for the Trojans. Snap to Kayot, hand off. Nice run, nice first down gain there for number 22, Silas Rudd. So good start for OBA, positive yardage, gain of about 7, so it's going to be 2nd and 3. Number 22, Silas Rudd, pressed into duty more on the field this year with the injuries to Hofen and Liam Berry. So Kayot takes the snap. This is going to be Schneider around the edge. Drugged down by the jersey after a short gain. It's going to bring up 3rd and short. 3rd down a yard or less. So it's going to be 3rd and short. Good opportunity for the Trojans here to keep this drive alive. We'll see what Coach Kayot and the coaching staff draws up here. A little bit different formation look for the Trojans this week. Everything's coming up under center so far, so that's a different look. Kayot takes a snap, fakes it to Rudd, now keeps it himself. He's going to dive forward. It's going to be really close. Cal Kayot's head got out to the 35-yard line, but it kind of depends on where they mark him down. And first down, Trojans. So they give him the first down. Looked a little out of sync there. He faked the handoff to Silas Rudd and then kind of ran in a circle, which took up a little bit of valuable time there. And I'm not sure if it was designed that way or if there was a little confusion. It's hard to tell. But it's good enough for a Trojan first down. And already I can see a different Silas in the offense, just the different formation going up under center. Now he's in a shotgun formation for the first time of the night. But Trojans a little easier running the ball there, which we haven't seen a lot of. Now Kayot's back to pass. He's going to fire it deep over the middle. That's a little bit over the target there, intended for Coy Schneider. So is that under center formation something they worked on earlier in the season, or was that put in this week, you think?
I don't really know. I haven't been at practices because of cross country, and so at least from earlier this season we have had some plays that looked similar to that. But obviously he could tweak it and things like that, so I'm not entirely sure.
Right, back in the shotgun formation again, back to kind of what they're more familiar with. 2nd and 10 after the incompletion. Judah Hopper in there at wide receiver, kind of filling the slot vacated by the injured Ben Burrow. He's going to go down to Kayot, or Kayot goes to Schneider, and he throws the fastball and goes through Schneider's hands at about the 41-yard line, incomplete. That'll make it 3rd and long for the Trojans. So 2 long incompletions for the Trojans. It's a good look to start the drive with a different formation look, and I don't know if that confused Turpin or was just a good look for the Trojans, but they were able to get a first down. But 2 quick incompletions put the Trojans behind the chains now at 3rd and long. Trojans not huddling up tonight. Kayot rolling out to his right. He's trying to make a guy miss. He's going to try and throw that away. That's got a lot of air under it. Dangerous throw. As number 6 for Turpin was over there in coverage. Riley Fowler, a junior. A couple more steps and he might have picked that ball off. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, that's something that Cal's definitely got to be wary of, is when he's about to fall down or something, he can't chunk it in the air and just hope that it goes out of bounds. He's got to make sure he lasers it out of bounds, and he needs to throw before he's in
that desperate situation.
He needs to decide sooner when he's going to throw it.
So Schneider back to punt for the Trojans. He's going to low wobbly punt. Is going to go out of bounds at the 41-yard line or so. So about an 18-yard punt for the Trojans, and oddly enough, that's actually one of the better punts we've had this year. Yeah. That doesn't say 18 yards doesn't sound all that impressive, and it might have been 19. Looks like they gave him a couple of extra. They put it at the 39. But we've had a couple of punts that barely got back to the line of scrimmage. So special teams definitely something the Trojans are working on this year. 8:30 to go in the first period. So after some initial yardage on the first part of this drive and a first down, the Trojans are stopped on 3 consecutive passes and then a punt. So back comes Turpin and quarterback Carson Peters. Nobody in the backfield with Peters. Now someone comes in motion. Looks like an option play to the far side of the field. He's going to pitch it. He's going to try and get the edge, and is forced out of bounds. Once again, it's just a combination of Peters and Jet Huffman over and over and over again. Those two seniors have had the ball in their hands every play Turpin's had so far. Silas Rudd with the tackle. Again, Silas getting a lot more playing time the past 2 weeks due to a lot of injuries for the Trojans. He's done a great job. Got a couple of touchdowns last week, filling in the void on some defensive plays too. So looks like second and about 6 for Turpin. Handoff up the middle once again. Huffman once again with the carry. That one's going to be Jacoby Justice on the carry for that one. Nose tackle Justice steps into the gap and takes Huffman down. This is one of those offenses where you're going to get a steady diet of 1 or 2 guys, and then at some point they're going to pop one off to someone you don't expect.
Yeah.
6 and 7, Fowler and Alvarado are out here every play and never even gotten a sniff of the ball. One of these times, one of those 2 guys is going to get a pass probably. But right now it's just Huffman with a little bit of Carson Peters. Huffman in motion again. He's going to get the ball again, coming to the near side. No one gets off their block, and he gets around the edge. Schneider diving, another game touchdown-saving tackle from number 4, the freshman Coy Schneider. And we've talked about this a lot here at OBATrojans.tv over the past several years. In the past years, it's been number 10, Judd Cheatham, making those tackles. But it's never a good thing when your free safety is the one that leads your team in tackles. You need him. You need him in coverage, and he's going to get some tackles. But if he's leading your team in tackles, that means they're getting past the first 2 levels of the defense, and that's just never a good thing. Yeah. So again, fake the pitch down. Now over to the top, and he's by himself. Yep. We saw that coming. That's number 6, Riley Fowler. So a steady diet of Jet Huffman, Jet Huffman, Jet Huffman, Jet Huffman. Oh, Riley Fowler is by himself deep in the defensive backfield. He got behind Andrew Campbell, and there was nobody within 15 yards of him. He strolls into the end zone with another touchdown for the Cardinals. And that's just discipline. I know you want to get in there and help contain their main weapon, Jet Huffman, but the second you do that, they're going to make you pay. Another handoff to Huffman now, right back to him. He walks into the end zone. 2-point conversion is good this time for the Cardinals. That's just good, sound football strategy from Turpin. There's a reason they're 4-0. They're a senior-laden team with a lot of experience, and they're just smart. Great job by their coaching staff, utilizing their main weapons, and then just when the Trojan defenders adjust to those main weapons, they hit you deep. Yeah. We've got another loss of signal here on the camera. I'm sorry about that, folks. We're just going to treat it like radio, but we'll be right back here on OBATrojans.tv. Like the camera's turned off. And we are back here at OBATrojans.tv. We're having a little technical difficulty with our camera. And we get it back and running, we will get you back to the video action, but we're going to do radio-style kickoff. Coy Snyder takes it, going right up the middle between the 2 hashes, tripped up and right at the 30-yard line, and that'll be first down Trojans at their own 30-yard line. We got the camera up and running here, so we're going to give it another go. So here come the Trojans for their second drive. A little bit of success on their first drive. Got a first down, but then we're stopped on their second after they moved the chains. And so out comes the Trojan offense. looking to get a sustained drive here.
I'm back. Okay.
Your color man, Wyatt Hofen, is having to pull a little double duty every time the camera goes out. He's got to run up to the roof and check with our cameraman. Hand off to Silas Rudd over the right side. He's going to get positive yardage, drug down after a gain of about 5, making it 2nd and 5 or maybe 2nd and 6.
That's something I like seeing is we're attacking the outside a little bit more.
Right.
Something we haven't seen a lot of in the past couple games. I didn't watch the Burn City Flat game, but the past couple that I have watched, we've been mainly pass heavy, and so I like seeing us kind of switch it up a bit.
Yeah, a lot more running so far this game than we've seen in any game this year. So pitch out to Snyder coming up the near side. Andrew Campbell ahead of him blocking. We're going to have a flag on the play. That's going to be Ian Burnett with the hold. It's a tough situation. Ian knew he'd held and drug his guy to the ground and then just kind of stopped. Well, his guy got up and kept playing. And actually made the tackle on Schneider. So that'll be a hold on number 50, Ian Burnett, the senior.
Holding's a 10-yard penalty, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
I believe so. So, again, kind of a hodgepodge lineup here for the Trojans. A lot of guys playing different positions than they usually do. Had a couple of positions that have been consistent throughout the year. Center Jacoby Justice and quarterback Cal Kayot have been consistent. Ian Burnett's kind of been on either side of the center as one of the guards, but he's played a couple of different spots this year as Schneider comes in motion. Pitch, a quick little swing pass out here to Schneider, trying to get him into the open field, and he's going to get a little bit of the yards back, but he does not get back to the original line of scrimmage, and that's going to make it 3rd and probably about 14 for the Trojans.
Schneider on the reception. Short gain on the play. Tackle made by number 50.
Right now your offensive line consists of Justice at center and Lucas Olson and Ian Burnett are your 2 guards. Offensively, Judah Hopper's out on the wide receiver slot, filling in for an injured Ben Burrell. Still undetermined injury, which is never a good sign. Andrew Campbell's in the slot. Coy Schneider in the backfield with Kayot. Kayot's going to roll out to his right. He's looking for Schneider, and he's going to be sacked. I don't know that he ever saw that one coming because he's gotten so much better at throwing the ball away, but he was locked in on Coy Schneider. He never looked away at anybody else, and I don't think he ever saw that defender coming because he got hit pretty hard right there. You can't lock in on one receiver like that. It's never a good recipe. 4th and forever for OBA. 4th and probably close to 25 or 30 after that sack. So really important to get some distance on this punt. That's a nice punt from Schneider, and it's going to get about to the 50-yard line. I think the Trojans are focusing on trying to directional punt, and they have more distance than what we're getting, but they're going out of bounds before they get near the ground.
Yeah.
So they're trying to keep it on the sideline, but that might be costing them 10 or 15 yards because that ball didn't hit the ground probably until it was about the Turpin 45 or 44-yard line. So that probably cost them about 8 yards. And furthermore, Jet Huffman never even made a move to go get it. He was just going to let it hit.
Yeah. We definitely should at least aim for the sideline, but let it bounce out into the sideline, not just kick it out into the, you know what I mean?
Right.
Let it bounce in.
See if you can get a lucky roll and maybe get a few extra yards for your defense.
Yeah.
So there's going to be an option running right at us, and he takes it inside and brought down after about a 4-yard gain. Jacoby Justice in there on that one along with Andrew Campbell and Coy Schneider. Not a lot of depth over here on the Trojan bench due to some injuries, and so
we're very limited on our sources to sub people out and keep people energized into playing. The
first couple of games we had several subs and a lot of fresh legs, but that is not the case tonight. I think there's more guys in street clothes than there are in uniform. If I'm looking at the sideline right now, just an eternity of time. He's going to heave it towards the end zone. Campbell in coverage, but the catch is made inside the 5-yard line. He's brought down at about the 3-yard line. That was essentially just a jump ball to Riley Fowler and Andrew Campbell, and Fowler's just bigger and stronger. And it looked a lot like a basketball box out. He just kind of set up position and kept Campbell on his hip and went up and got it.
Yeah.
First down, Cardinals inside the 5-yard line, first and goal at about the 2. Trojans are just getting out-experienced and out-athleted so far tonight. Run around the end, and it's going to be a touchdown Turpin for their 3rd of the night. And once again, that's Jet Huffman on the carry for another 6 points for the Cardinals. So that's going to make it 20-0 as they get ready to go for 2.
So far I have Turpin at 20 or not. I have 4 20-plus yard gains.
Wow.
In the first quarter.
A lot of chunk yardage there. So the pass is complete. 2-point conversion is good for Turpin. You know, you always try and look for the silver lining in moments like this. It's not going well for the Trojans, 22-0. But you always look for the little things. And right now the thing I'm noticing is on offense, while Cal Kaot has been sacked, it's in my opinion, it's been better. He hasn't been running for his life on every single play like he was in some of those early season games against Sealing and
giving him a lot of time.
Yeah, he's gotten a lot more time, and maybe we've changed our offensive looks a little bit, and he's getting rid of the ball a little quicker. But, yes, he has gotten sacked a couple of times, but there hasn't been a single play where, like, the ball was snapped and a defender was in his lap before the ball got there. And so that's a positive for these young Trojans. As they kind of look for silver linings in this moment. And that's something you can build on. If you can fix those offensive line problems, a lot of your offensive problems get fixed over time as well. 3:16 to go here in the first quarter. The Turpin Cardinals lead your OBA Trojans 22-0. The sun is fully set now. Beautiful fall evening. My personal opinion, perfect football weather. It's not too hot, not too cold.
Yeah.
No rain, no snow. It's just a nice, cool evening here on the Southern Plains.
I'm hoping to see on this offensive drive that we're going to be going is being able to, like, if we do go into a pass formation and, like, shotgun and stuff like that, is to have our receivers move well enough to get open.
Right.
There hasn't been a lot of things for Cal to throw to.
Right. Turpin's obviously watched a lot of film and has really worked on their coverages. They haven't blitzed yet, and that might be a situation, you know, if I'm the Turpin coach, maybe I'm just going to play a lot of coverage tonight and trust my senior leaders and my experience, and maybe not put a lot of my blitzes and stuff on film for future games. Other district opponents will definitely watch film and maybe you'll be able to defend your blitzes if you show them to them. So rolling kickoff down to Schneider, who picks it up at the 10, out to about the 15, and met with traffic and immediately goes down. And once again, a blocker just kind of lets his block go, and that's who makes the tackle. You got to sustain those blocks. The Trojans are kind of getting a block and getting a hit, and one hit is not enough in that situation. You've got to maintain your block.
Yeah.
That's the second time on kick return that Snyder's thought he found an alley because he had a blocker there, and then the blocker just stopped and let the defender go by. And that's a youth situation, and Turpin is filled with juniors and seniors, and they don't stop, and that's an experience thing. Kaot back under center now. Rolling out with Snyder, trying to get around to the edge. So he'll get a yard or two, not much. Bring up 2nd and 8. But the Trojans definitely a little bit different look on offense. Still throwing the ball around a little bit, but definitely more running than we've seen in any other game.
And I kind of like it because for future games now it's not going to be more – should we lean more pass-heavy defense and more run-heavy defense for the opponent.
Right.
It's going to confuse them, mix them up a bit, not knowing what they're going to do.
Another run for Silas Rudd. He cuts it up inside. And it's going to be part of positive yardage again up to about the 25-yard line. So that'll bring up a 3rd and, 5, maybe 4.
He's doing a good job running up the middle and just lowering that shoulder and just trying to get as much yards until he just gets tripped up or falls down or something. He's doing a good job at that.
Not sure what's happening here with the official. Oh, there was a flag on the play, so we're marching backwards. So I'm going to assume that was a hold because they've taken away the yardage Silas gained and are still walking. That'll just kill you. That'll just kill you. Every time you have a positive play, someone has one of those mental errors.
Yeah.
Volleyball team could make their way down to the track, please. Lady Trojan volleyball, make your way down to the track.
Okay, out back in the shotgun formation. Handoff up the middle, and they're going to gain yardage, but on 2nd and 20, a 3-yard gain might not be enough. It's a really interesting situation for the Trojan because obviously they're showing a little more trust in the offensive line by running more, but when you get behind the chains, you put yourself in a bad situation.
Yeah.
Those penalties just set you up for failure every time. So that's going to be 3rd and about 15. Still haven't seen a blitz from Turpin.
I'm expecting pass here because there's,
And, now they're all over K out. Here they come. So the pass is complete to Rudd. It's going to be about a 6-yard gain, nowhere near enough for the first down. It's going to make it 4th and 9. But that's the first time Turpin's really shown any extra rusher, and he got in there pretty easily that time. 1:23 to go in the first period.
Brings up a 4th down and 10 for OPA.
let's hope that we can punt this inbounds because both times this Turpin, the person in the back, has not gone after it. He just kind of stands there. Oh, he's going to go after it this time.
This one almost over. He catches it over the shoulder. Huffman with the ball, and again, we know he's their main weapon. Up the sideline, dancing, and he stepped out of bounds. He planted his outside foot to make a move, and it was out of bounds. So they're going to bring him back from where you see him on the camera. You see the official standing there at about the 23-yard line, and that's where Turpin will take over. We've spent the whole first quarter in Trojan territory here. There's only been about 2 plays the whole quarter on the Turpin side of the 50.
And the Trojans have only had a looks like 1 first down. I'm keeping a little board here
that
so I can keep
very
track
first
of
possession, the very first series of downs, they got a first down, and nowhere close since.
And it's penalties. Like, penalties are killing us.
Yes.
We have 2 penalties for 10 yards, and that has killed both of our drives.
Another pass play for Peters. Going to look deep to the corner of the end zone. That one's going to fall. Oh, they're going to throw a flag on that.
Incomplete pass, flag on the play.
They're going to call
I
that
can see what he was looking at there.
There was contact.
There was contact, but I wouldn't say it was
he didn't
interfering or anything.
He didn't slow Alvarado down at all. Alvarado actually made contact with the defender.
Yeah.
And there, you could argue that ball wasn't catchable because it was a good 10 yards away from the closest person. But they're going to call it pass interference, and we're going to march off more yardage.
Pass interference against the Trojans.
They'll put them around the 12-yard line. Man.
So after a steady diet of Carson Peters and Jet Huffman, their first 3 drives, just handoff after handoff, they threw a big long pass for a touchdown, and now it's been a steady diet of passing in their last couple of drives from the Turpin Cardinals, kind of showing their offensive diversity here.
From the Trojan 12-yard line.
Turpin in no hurry, taking their time, 50 seconds to go here in the first quarter. And I'm just going to give my personal opinion here, Wyatt. The ref stops the game because the guy's shirt's untucked. That's not going to affect play at all.
No.
It just...
I think it might have been something other than shirt untucked because
maybe
the guy
or something?
Yeah, the guy that he brought in is even worse than he was, so maybe blood in the back or something. Oh, but there is a flag
there is a flag on that play. Carson Peters just with the keeper goes untouched into the end zone, but we've got a hold on Turpin, so that's going to come back. So the Trojans finally have a penalty go the other way this time around. Those are just the things with officiating that drive me crazy. We're gonna call a borderline call that makes a huge difference in the game. But then we're going to be really worried about mouthpieces or uniforms.
Yeah.
Which have no impact whatsoever.
Yeah.
Or my favorite is the sideline warning after a touchdown. That doesn't impact the game at all.
Yeah.
No plays are happening, and guys are celebrating a touchdown or whatever, and they call a sideline. It just doesn't affect the game. And that's not a football opinion. That's any sport.
Yeah.
That just drives me crazy. So, again, Huffman in motion. Peters takes the snap, rolls to his left. Now a quick little swing pass out to Huffman. Makes a man miss. Another flag comes in. He scrambles. Coy Snyder again, by far our leading tackler today. Shoestring tackle saves a touchdown, but there's another flag, so we might be coming backwards a little bit more. Although the flag didn't come from the backfield, and that's usually where holding comes from. This one came from the side judge.
They just waving it off?
There's no signal from the white hat. He's just kind of walking around.
I guess they just waved off
they
the...
decided to say never mind on that one, and they spotted the ball where the tackle was made. So that'll be 2nd and about 6 for Turpin. They can get a first down without getting a touchdown with 8 seconds left here in the first period. So that'll be the end of first period. The Turpin Cardinals 22, your OBA Trojans 0.
I'm still curious on what that call would have been.
Right.
I can't, because there was no one near that
official.
official. So I'm guessing he saw something across the field, and
what's odd, they didn't even, like, usually if a ref throws a flag and then they decide not to institute the penalty, you'll see them wave the flag back and forth and wave off the penalty. Didn't even do that. He just put it back in his pocket and walked off. And the white hat gave us no signal on that. We've lost our picture again. Sorry about that, folks. Some technical issues here. We'll just put the score up there for you as we begin to start the second quarter.
If the Lady Trojan volleyball team could make their way onto the track in front of the grandstands.
So during the break here between the first quarter and the second quarter, your OBA Trojans 0, Turpin Cardinals 22.
OBA wants to recognize the varsity volleyball team. These ladies competed yesterday at regionals and without even dropping a single set, advanced on to the state tournament. They will play Thursday at the time of the tournament later. Great job, Coach Ross and the Lady Trojan volleyball team.
Little recognition going on. Your OBA Trojan volleyball team yesterday went on the road for the regional tournament at Shoto Mazie and was able to defeat Summit Christian in the regional semifinals and then knock off the host Shoto Mazie in the regional championship game. Both matches were 3-0, so the Trojans won all 3 sets in earning their ticket back to the state tournament. First time the Lady Trojan volleyball squad's been to state since 2020. So congratulations to those young ladies. They've earned it. As we're back here, we're still trying to figure out the camera situation. So we're just going to do this radio style. Sorry for any inconvenience. As Turpin takes over, we're going to be at the other end of the field now as we start the second quarter. There we go. Looks like our camera's back online. He's going to fake the pitch and take it right up the middle. He runs right into the teeth of the Trojan defensive line. Carson Peters on the quarterback keeper. Design quarterback run there. Nice job by Lucas Olson and Jacoby Justice there on the Trojan offensive line, along with along with Ethan Abbott there. Ethan, a junior. Number 13 out there for the Trojans. So the Trojan defensive line really tight. This time they're going to hand this one off to Jet Huffman, and he gets across the line before he stopped. Another touchdown for Huffman and the Cardinals. So that'll make it 28-0 for the Cardinals. 11:22 to go here in the second quarter at Commitment Field on the campus of Oklahoma Bible Academy. 2-point conversion crew in there for the Cardinal. Carson Peters takes the snap, gives it to Huffman over the right side, and dives across for the 2-point conversion is good, making it 30-0 for the Turpin Cardinals. The Cardinals out here in the first half tonight showing why they're 4-0. In complete control on offense. The young Trojan defense kind of struggling to find their way. And we're not going to use it as an excuse. Tons of new faces out there for the Trojans tonight, just due to injury, which is part of any football season. But several starters, key players. Liam Berry over on the sideline wearing shorts. Nathaniel Barney on the sideline. Ben Burrell on the sideline. Ethan Ash on the sideline. Just tons of Trojans. Caden Denon over here on crutches, number 60 on crutches. Judah Reese just had knee surgery, so he's not even on the sideline tonight. Just a ton of Trojans unable to contribute on the field. Definitely contributing with their support of their teammates and trying to be positive influences. Connor Reed out there with a cast on his wrist, broke his wrist last week. And that's a tough situation to be in for a young man in high school, is to be injured and not able to get out there, because they want nothing more than to be out there with their teammates in this fight, but they just physically they're unable to do that. So you got to kind of search for a silver lining in those situations, which the Trojans are doing. Tons of guys are getting varsity experience in these games that maybe otherwise wouldn't get as many minutes as they're getting tonight and got last week. So you just take that and you build experience. You got to look, down the road a little bit and try and have a big picture perspective, and know that all these sophomores and freshmen that are on the field on a game like this will be juniors and seniors one day, and they will have a truckload of varsity experience. So here goes the kickoff, left-footed kick for Turpin. End over end kick fielded by Snyder at the 12-yard line across the 20-25. Mets first contact, breaks the tackle now across the 30, come to the near side, 35. Bulldozes the defender and is brought down right at the 40-yard line. Nice job by Coy Snyder. Mason Nelson, the junior for the Cardinals, steps in and makes the tackle, but not before getting just bulldozed by the freshman number 4, Coy Snyder. So a nice play that draws some cheers from the Trojan faithful, as the Trojans will start at the 41-yard line, which is the farthest up the field they've gotten tonight. So on their own 41, a first down would put OBA into Turpin territory for the first time on the night. So we can see what they do here. Handoff around the edge, looking for Silas Rudd. He cuts back across the grain, and he's going to get positive yards. It's a nice run from Silas Rudd, about a 4-yard gain. If you can get 4 yards every play, you're doing great. So nice job from Silas Rudd. That run designed to come around this end, I believe, but he plants his outside foot and cuts it up inside for positive yardage. So second down and about 6 for your OBA Trojans. Andrew Campbell to the near side, Judah Hopper to the far side. 2 running backs, kind of more like flankers on either end. Snyder on the near side, Rudd on the far side, or on either side of Cal K. He's going to fake the handoff to Snyder, going to keep it himself. That's going to be a short loss. Just not a smooth transition there. You fake the handoff to Snyder, and he spins, but just doesn't go anywhere for a couple of seconds. Not even that long, but it feels that long. It's just a slow developing play there for Cal K, unable to kind of shift it into gear after faking that handoff, and it gives the Cardinal time to adjust and make the play. So fake handoff to Snyder, and the quarterback, Cal K, spins in a full circle I guess, to maybe make the defense believe you're going to go the other direction. And by the time you get that spin done, this Turpin defense is too quick. They're on him before he can head upfield. So 3rd and 6 now after no gain. Kayot pass short, and that falls incomplete. Andrew Campbell takes a big hit there, and the ball's jarred loose, so the pass goes incomplete. Hit Campbell right in the hands, but then a split second later, the defense hit Campbell right in the middle of the back and jars the ball loose. So 4th and 6 for OBA at the 45-yard line. They need to get to the Cardinal 49 for a first down, but the Trojans look like they're lined up for a punt here. Coy Snyder back to kick for OBA. There's really not any wind to speak of. Snyder's going to roll out to his right. He's looking to throw, but Campbell's just covered tons of time there. So he's going to throw it. It's going to be completed, and they get really pretty much to the original line of scrimmage. So it'll be first down Cardinals at the 45. And as I was saying when we started this drive for OBA, it was the deepest the Trojans had gone out of their own territory, the 45-yard line. But this is also the deepest I think Turpin has started a drive is at the OBA 45-yard line. So I can understand them not punting there.
I saw the miscommunication on that fake punt. The farthest receiver away from us was supposed to cut in and come across the field, and instead he went straight back, leaving Coy nowhere to throw.
Swing pass intended for Jet Huffman falls incomplete, just a little bit low. It was a catchable ball, but it would have been a nice fingertip catch to catch that ball, and that might be the first negative play we've seen from Huffman and Peters. So incomplete pass, 2nd and 10 for the Cardinal. 9:34 to go here in the first half. So we're about midway through the second quarter. Hand off to Huffman, coming around the near edge. Judah Hopper gets blocked, and Huffman's gone. Really, all it takes is one person. The tight end seals the edge of the line. The wide receiver seals the cornerback, Judah Hopper, and there's an alley a mile wide for Huffman to run through, and there's nobody even close on that play. Coy Snyder made an attempt, but he was too far on the other side of the field. Judah Hopper tried to pursue, but he'd gotten blocked, and Silas Rudd could not get there from his linebacker position. And when you have a running back like Jet Huffman, I mean, his parents named him Jet for crying out loud.
Yeah, what's killing us is just, like, the whole season we've been struggling with a couple primary issues, and today I'm really seeing the outside. On a lot of these runs by Turpin has been from the out, like them running on the outside, and we're just not able to set the edge. We're just getting hooked and just outplayed.
So that's Carson Peterson with the 2-point conversion. Starts up, heading up the middle, and then plants his foot and cuts it to the outside, just strolls into the end zone untouched for the senior quarterback for the Turpin Cardinals. So Turpin showing us every bit of a good reason why they're sitting at 4-0 this year and one of the favorites to win this district. Turpin and Laverne, both highly ranked teams in the Trojans district this year. District play is nothing but tough. There aren't going to be any easy ones this year for this young Trojan squad. So you got to take games like this against Turpin, and you got to learn from them. You got to learn to set the edge. You got to learn to get off your block if you're that cornerback that they're running towards. Little things like that. And the Trojan defense definitely missing the experience of number 1, Liam Berry, the junior. Kind of a main figure. He carried the ball some on offense, but his primary value to the Trojans this year has been on the defensive side of the ball. And having him over here with his knee all bandaged up is not a good thing for the Trojan defense.
Yeah, I think a huge part of a lot of our long plays, or Turpin's long plays, is because of our first string and second string, especially in the secondary.
Right.
We're relying on our third string because most of these injuries have happened or are people from the secondary.
Right.
And like Ethan Ash, Ben Burrell. Like, they're all, like, both of them are corner positions.
Yeah.
And right now we're having to rely on some third string or second string, depending on who they have in right now. But it's just people who haven't had a lot of experience.
Yeah, it's a big obstacle to overcome. But when your opening day starter's sitting up here with me and your other opening day starter's down there with a big brace on his knee, nice run there from Coy Schneider, gets it out to about the 32, and then the person who subbed in for the first starter that got hurt is over here on crutches, and then the next guy who subbed in is over here on crutches. You're pretty deep into the depth chart at that point.
Yeah.
But again, we've said it several times this season, you got to look at the silver lining on this cloud, and that is got a lot of freshmen getting a whole lot of varsity experience, and that's going to pay off in a few years. When you look at teams like Turpin, it's a senior-laden team, but these guys got to play a lot when they were freshmen and sophomores. And Wacomas, who we played early in the year, we had multiple seniors who we got to see last year, and when they were a younger team, and the mistakes they made and learned from, and they're a formidable team. That's going to be a Trojan first down. Pass completes to Coy Schneider, so there's the Trojans' second first down of the game, out to about the 42-yard line. So little moments like that one right there are a great example. You learn from mistakes. You learn from, when you're pressured, you don't throw the ball away, you don't roll out, and you make a play like that. And you have to take those moments and learn from them and make them the norm instead of the exception. Out back in a shotgun formation, kind of back in familiar territory here. Schneider in motion. He's going to roll out to this side this time, looking for Schneider in the flat. Turpin's all over that one. And that ball is almost intercepted. Once again, that's the same kind of issue. Cal was zoomed in on Coy, and he was going to throw it to Coy no matter what was going on. And there were three guys around Coy, essentially two defensive backs right on him and then a linebacker. And I don't think Cal ever saw the linebacker because it almost got picked.
He might have looked back at Andrew Campbell because he was also in the same line of sight as Coy, which Andrew Campbell was open, but around the 30 or 20-yard line.
10 or 15 yards downfield.
Yeah, and while Cal is scrambling out, he just couldn't throw it that far, so he made the more riskier pass.
Yeah, I think that's one you just throw like a bullet into the dirt in front of somebody's feet so they can't intercept it, because that almost got picked by a linebacker. This one's going to be a throwback to Campbell. Judah Hopper, and it's going to be about a 5-6 yard gain. So nice little bubble screen there for the Trojans. Hopper just kind of took one step upfield, then planted his foot and came inside. Nice little misdirection play for the Trojans is good for 5 yards, bringing up 3rd and 5, which is way more manageable than 3rd and 10 or farther, as we've seen tonight. We've had a couple of 3rd and 20s.
Yeah. So far, I'm pretty sure this is our longest drive.
Time-wise, for sure. As the clock ticks, we've had the ball for quite a while now. Again, Schneider in motion. That one's going to be complete right at the 50-yard line to Coy Schneider. That's going to bring up 4th and about 2.5.
At the 50-yard line.
I don't see any reason to punt here. I would imagine the Trojans would go for it. So K-Out brings the play in from the bench.
Many cheerleaders could report to the gate leading out onto the track by the field house.
Schneider coming in motion. They're going to fake the handoff to Schneider. Look over the middle to Hopper. I think he heard some footsteps coming there. The ball hit him right in the stomach. But a defender kind of ran through his path, and I think that broke his concentration a little bit. And it bounces off of Hopper's stomach and goes incomplete. Again, that's a freshman out there, and after seeing Andrew Campbell get lit up a little earlier and seeing some of the big hits Turpin's put on us, maybe he heard a couple of footsteps as that ball was coming in.
Yeah.
And I don't blame him.
I will say I've been in that situation right there, too, of when you're catching it, you know you're about to get hit, and it is nerve-wracking.
Right.
In that short amount of time, I swear your heart beats like 40 times.
So another handoff up the middle. A lot of contact there from the Trojans, but nobody wraps up, and Riley Fowler, the junior, runs for about 6 yards. Contact was made at the line of scrimmage, and he just carried a couple of Trojans 5 yards down the field. Second and about 3.
And we almost had him about like 2 yards into his
Right.
run.
Yeah.
But if we just wrapped up, it wouldn't be. It would be 2 and 8 instead of an 8-yard gain with 2 yards until the next first down.
Right. Shotgun formation here for Peters. Nobody in the backfield with him. They're going to look down the field. He's got 3 guys open. He can shoot. He throws it to the one guy that's covered, but it is still caught.
That was a pretty
Great
good catch.
Yeah. There was only one guy being covered, and that's who they threw it to. That's Ryder Ireland, another senior. He had 2 receivers open on the far side of the field, and he threw it to the one. Judah Hopper actually with pretty good coverage there.
Yeah.
But again, that's an instance, a senior there, just bigger and stronger, just kind of ran through Judah Hopper's coverage and went up and got the ball. Looks like going to be another formation where there's nobody in the backfield with Peters. 3 receivers to the far side of the field. Ireland here on the near side of the field. Number 50 in the receiver core, which is an odd number. Little swing pass out there. Silas Rudd is on him immediately when he catches the ball, but he carries Silas a good 4 yards after contact.
What I saw there was we tackled too high.
Yeah, just grabbed him around the shoulders, and that doesn't stop the legs at all.
No.
So it's going to be second and goal after a short gain.
That's another thing we've been struggling this whole year.
Yeah, it could have been a tackle for loss because we had him outside the 10. We had contact outside the 10-yard line, but couldn't bring him down. So they get it in to about the 7. It looks like.
Yeah.
Second and goal. 5:34 to go here in the first half. 7 yards here, and he just waltzes into the end zone. That's going to be a touchdown for Elijah Navarro, another senior. Waltzes in. And that's going to make it 44-0. So the Trojans are staring at a halftime mercy rule situation. Navarro at quarterback. Now the senior, he's just going to keep it. It's grabbed by Snyder, and Snyder trips him up, so they're going to avoid the 45-point mercy rule at this point. See if the Trojans can get to halftime here. It'd be great if the Trojans could take this kickoff and go down and get some points here.
Yeah.
That would be a good way to end the half, as the Trojans will start the second half with the ball. So that could be a good.
This next drive is vital.
Yeah, that could be a good 12 or 14-point swing as we end the first half.
And being our defense has not yet to be able to get a stop, we've got to score points on this drive here, with the way everything else is going.
Right. You're essentially going to get 2 chances to score here. You're going to if you don't go too fast. I mean, if Turpin gets a stop here and forces OBA to punt, they're going to have 2 or 3 minutes. And the way they're operating, that's plenty of time.
Oh, yeah.
They've gotten, I don't know if you've kept counting or not, why, but they've had at least 6 or 7 chunk plays of 20 yards or more.
I've had 7 of 20.
we just had the pass here a little while ago to Ireland that was over 20 yards. And so they're getting these chunk plays, and so they don't need a ton of time.
And I have 13 missed tackles, and I've also been running up and down the camera and not paying attention.
You've missed a couple on your chart there.
Yeah. And so it's just, like we've said it every game almost, is outside contain and tackling. We're tackling high.
Right.
Like we saw over there, Silas Rudd jumped on his back instead of grabbing his legs.
Right.
Because he could just carry.
Yeah.
And so we're doing a pretty bad job at going for the legs.
Right.
And that's what we need. That's how you bring someone down and just go for the legs. Like, you get to them, just go at their legs instead of.
There's an old saying in football: low man always wins.
Yeah.
So deep kickoff. Snyder's going to field this at about the 12-yard line on the run across the 20-25 and going to get forced out of bounds at the 27-yard line. So the Trojans will take over in their own territory. It's like the 28. 5:21 to go here in the first half. So we'll see what this Trojan offense can do here as the first half winds down. Really need to get something on the scoreboard here. Snyder in motion, snaps high. Chaot's able to kind of bat it down and then catch it himself. Campbell's just – he's going to call that incomplete. I think the Trojans just got a break because I think he got his foot down.
Incomplete pass. Second down and 10 for OBA.
So weird situation there. Senior Andrew Campbell out in the pattern. He runs his route and looks back to see Chaot scrambling and just freezes.
Actually,
I don't know if you come back to. I think you come back to the ball in that situation, but he just kind of. But there was 4 defenders around him, so there weren't a lot of options for Andrew on that one. So handoff to Rudd up the middle. He's going to dive forward and get about 2 yards, and that's hard work there from Silas Rudd, the sophomore.
And I've said that with him. He's doing a really good job at when he gets hit. He just keeps driving.
He's got good forward momentum.
Reaching.
Right.
He's given as much effort as possible and to get as many yards as he can.
Silas does a good job of getting forward momentum, and even after if he takes a big hit, the momentum still keeps him going for positive yardage, and that actually ends up being like a 3-yard gain there for Silas Rudd, even though he got hit at the line of scrimmage. So we're going to see Snyder come in motion here in a second. Well, maybe not. We're going to go straight to the passing game. Chaot's just buried, and the pass falls incomplete. That was just a 3-man rush. That was not a blitz. They didn't bring anything special there. They just got to Chaot in a hurry.
Yeah.
And the pass was a little bit low, slips through Andrew Campbell's hands, and falls incomplete, making it 4th and 7 now. And it's decision time, 4:26 to go. If you go for it and don't make it, you're giving Turpin really good field position. But our special teams has not been very special this year, so I don't envy Coach Chaot this decision.
Good punt.
That might be the best punt of the year, except it lands 12, 15 yards out of bounds. And so while the distance was a good
they might
10,
give
20,
it to
35 yards as he comes up the line. So it's going to end up being 10, 25, and they stop it. So about a 25, almost a 30-yard punt for the Trojans, which is, I think, probably our longest of the season.
Yeah.
But it kept going. We've talked about it already once tonight. So that kept going. That didn't land until inside the 30-yard line. Mm-hmm. But it landed 12, 15 yards out of bounds. And that's just another skill these young Trojans have to get good at. Working on the angle of that punt. Working the sidelines and special teams is definitely an important part of your special teams game. But we just haven't mastered that thing where it travels most of its travel in bounds.
Yeah.
Because we're losing a good 10 to 15 yards after it goes out of bounds.
And the Turpin guy that the punt returner is still standing in the middle of the field.
He didn't even make a move to go get it. Even if you just put it outside the hash marks, he's not really putting forth a lot of effort.
And the one time that he did actually catch it was when we punted it straight
down
to
between
him.
The hash marks.
Yeah, and so if we just kick it out to the numbers, at least we could get a couple
of bounces,
5, 6, 7 yards if we at least.
Right. So Turpin will start at their own 44-yard line. 4:20 to go here in the first half. It looks like they've subbed in a quarterback, Angel Marino. He's a junior. Marino takes the handoff and hands it off to number 23, Angie Silva, also a junior. And that's just a big glaring thing that I see as Turpin starts to put in some of their subs. Their subs are all juniors. That's a junior quarterback, junior running back, junior wide receiver in there now. And the Trojan subs are all freshmen and a couple of sophomores. So looking at the offensive line there for Turpin, they still have a senior in there on offensive line, Blaine Johnson. Blaine Johnson's a sophomore. He's the youngest guy on the field for Turpin right now. Oh, snap goes over the head. Flag comes out. Trojans in pursuit. They actually stopped play, and I'm not sure what that's all about. So it must have been a false start before the snap went over the quarterback's head.
And we'll take that.
Yeah, that's a 5-yard loss.
Back them up more as long as our defense can get some stops here. We might be able to get the ball back before the end of the half.
5-yard walk-off there. I mean, second and about 12 or 13. I don't know, man. That jailbreak snap might have been nice to get because it went over the quarterback's head by a good 10 or 15 yards. He was way back there. Aaron Gandria is now in there at quarterback, number 2. So Turpin looking to get some of their subs some minutes here as the half winds down. Gandria rolls out to his left, and he makes it to the edge. And he's going to gain that penalty yardage back. He's going to get just across the original line of scrimmage, making it probably 2nd and 9.
And that was a good effort by tracking him down by our linemen. Our linemen were cooking. They were moving pretty good.
They were pursuing really well towards the sideline. We still didn't hold the edge very well.
Yeah.
But the pursuit was really good. So like we've said a bunch of times, we're going to find the silver lining on this cloud as much as we can. So Gandria still in there at quarterback, number 2. Takes a snap, and it's over his head again. He catches this one, but Lucas Olson is back there with him, and he gets away. And this is going to be, big block, and he might be gone. Gandria flying down the sideline. Andrew Campbell in pursuit, but he's not going to catch him. That's a touchdown. Crushing block there on the edge. After Gandria gets away from the initial pursuit from Lucas Olson, Ben Bearden was coming back in pursuit and just got ear-holed. And it was a legal block. He didn't hit him in the back. He hit him right in the helmet. That sounds bad to say. Right in the helmet sounds like targeting. I thought it was a clean block.
Yeah.
It's just blind. It was just a blindside block, and Ben Bearden never saw him coming. So it was a pretty impressive impact. Let's just put it that way.
Mm-hmm. I have 5 running touchdowns by Turpin.
Yeah, that makes it 50-0. Turpin's leading. Now we have number 24, Gage Peters, in there at quarterback. He takes the snap and the 2-point conversion. They're not going to get it in. So a nice stop there from Ben Bearden.
That makes the score Turpin 50, OBA 0.
2:42 to go here in the first quarter.
Halftime performance by the OBA varsity cheerleading squad and the mini OBA cheerleaders. So make sure you stick around for that.
It's kind of interesting to look across the field. Turpin's a small school, roughly the same size as OBA, but they have a fleet of cheerleaders over there, 2, 4, 6,
They do.
8, 10, 12, 14, I think 15 cheerleaders. And I've been thinking all year this year, I think this might be the largest numerically cheerleading squad we've had in a long time, and I think we have, 2, 4, 6, 8. We've got 8 of them. and I think 8's the most we've had in several years. So here I am thinking we've got wow, this is great. We have a huge cheerleading squad. And then I look across the field and they have double our numbers.
Yeah.
In a school that's roughly the same. Obviously, we're in the same classification, in the same district, so we're roughly the same size attendance-wise. But they're all in on the cheer squad out in Turpin. So Turpin set to kick off. Coy Snyder deep again for the Trojans. Trojans really need to score now to get this thing down below 45. Chris Kayott not happy with something. I wonder if he's talking about that block, and he just took a flag for unsportsmanlike. The white hat had heard enough.
Flag on the play, unsportsmanlike conduct against OBA.
And that's something that, you can't go back on a play once another play happens. So
Right.
It's just one of those situations where we just got to move on. And, that cost us unsportsmanlike personal foul, right? So
Yeah,
that would be 15 yards. And so,
Yeah, so instead of kicking off at their own 40, they're kicking off at the OBA 45.
yeah,
So they could pin OBA pretty deep right here.
and it looks like
Snyder's
we'll
going to
take
let that go and hope it goes in. It does. It rolls into the end zone. So we'll have a touchback.
This kick goes into the end zone for a touchback.
And I don't know. Maybe the coaching staff had a better angle than me on that
Yeah.
block. From here, it looked like a clean block, but I just caught it out of the corner of my eye. So maybe there was more than met the eye in that situation. And I'll be honest, I'm old. I grew up in another different generation when a massive impact was probably the highlight of the game for a lot of people. And nowadays, a massive impact is a negative. So Kayot takes a snap, hands it off to Ari Pounds. Ari gets around the edge. Nice positive yard run there from Ari Pounds, about a 7-yard gain for OBA. So that's a good start on the drive.
Ari Pounds is small and quick, and so he could be a very vital part of this.
Ari just a sophomore, so the future sure does have a lot of bright spots for OBA.
He's small, quick, and agile, so definitely we'll be seeing him being used in the next couple seasons as he's here.
Another handoff to Ari Pounds, and he's going to take it, cut it up the middle, and get a yard or two, bringing up third and probably about 3.
Silas Rudd on the carry, short gain on the play.
That should be Silas Rudd that took it up the middle.
Okay. So third down for OBA. See if OBA can pound out 3 yards here and get us a first down before the half. Find something positive to build on.
Minute 35.
Handoff to Ari around the edge. And he gets the edge. It's going to be a first down and then some for Ari Pounds. A nice 8-yard gain. I think that's the Trojans' longest play from scrimmage today. So nice run there from the sophomore, Ari Pounds, number 30, getting around the edge. Quick feet, nice vision, sees the hole, explodes through the hole, gets positive yardage. That's good running there for Ari Pounds. Junior Nelson in there for his first action of the night on the offensive line, helping blast that hole for Pounds. This one's going to be Rudd. It's just side to side for the Trojans, and it's going really well. Andrew Campbell with the block. That'll be the Trojans' longest play from scrimmage now. Almost a 25-yard gain there from Silas Rudd down to the 42-yard line into Turpin territory for the first time tonight. Forced out of bounds. The clock stops with 1:10 to go here in the first half. So nice job, Junior Nelson, doing the thing we've talked about 100 times, Silas. He actually set the edge there.
Yeah.
He was able to block the end of the line. Andrew Campbell blocks the cornerback. Big hole there, and Silas Rudd runs right through it. So here we go. Kayot takes the snap, handoff to Pounds, back to the other side, and the ball's on the ground. It's going to be scooped up by Turpin. Spin move, first down Turpin at the 42-yard line. Ari Pounds tried to squeeze out a couple more yards, and the ball just got knocked loose. Didn't secure the ball. You got to cover that up with both hands when you're about to meet impact, and he had it in one hand pretty clearly, and the defender just put a helmet right on the ball, and it popped right out. Nice big hop, nice easy hop, easy to scoop that ball up.
Yeah,
for Turpin.
Especially when you're running in, like if there's 2 people on both sides of you, you really need to guard that because you're going to be getting hit by 2.
You're getting hit on both sides.
Both sides of you, and so that ball, if you get hit by one side, maybe you can like secure it or move a little bit to where that ball's not getting hit, and so you could still have it, but you get hit by both sides. You have nowhere to go with that ball, and so you've really got to secure it with both hands and just lower your shoulder to protect it.
Turpin just gamely takes a knee there. So we're going to have a couple subs come in for the Trojans. Number 10, Titus Unruh coming in. Also, number 9, Hendrick Smith seeing his first action. Oh, nope, he comes back out.
Looks like we have 7
2,
out there.
4, 6. Andrew Campbell walks back onto the field. 7.
Oh, there he goes.
He's not sure where he's supposed to be. Now he's coming in for Campbell. Turpin's just going to take a knee. A couple guys getting out there for the first time this year, though. Titus Unruh's out there. We already talked about Junior Nelson. He's in there. So Turpin just going to be content to let this thing run out. We're going to see number 80 for the Trojans trot out there on the field. That's Elliott Ash, but we're not going to have another play. That's going to be all she wrote. And the Turpin Cardinals definitely show why they came in here 4-0, and they're going to walk out of here 5-0 as they beat OBA 50-0, 45-point mercy rule in effect at halftime. And so that'll be the end of the game. Next week, your Trojans are a Thursday night game, so be sure and be aware of that. The Trojans will play Thursday night
believe Pioneer, correct?
I believe that's a Pioneer game. It's Thursday night. I think it's at Pioneer, is it not?
Yes, it's at Pioneer, and then the week after that will also be a Thursday night, but we play Laverne.
Correct.
Here.
So, next Thursday night, the Trojans at Pioneer. So, thanks for tuning in to OBATrojans.tv. We'll see you next week for Trojan football action.